Hey guys, it's LEGO Boys E3. Today I'm going to show you how to make any Bandage cube mod. So today I'm going to show you the easiest way to make this very straightforward and simple mod to make. It's a very good beginner's mod, the Bandage cube mod. It doesn't require any cutting of the plastic, and there's also not a whole lot of sanding. It also allows for a lot of customizability because you can pretty much have infinite variations of a Bandage cube. Also, it doesn't require a whole lot of different materials, pretty much just super glue, sandpaper, and some filler material, as well as, of course, a 3x3. I am using a cheese sail, but you can also use something like a guanlong, or even a cheap Shangshao cube. Anyway, before you actually start this mod, I would recommend marking out the pieces that you're going to be gluing together, just to avoid mistakes and make sure that your puzzle is actually going to be functional in the end. So make sure that all the sides can turn just how you want them to. I'm going to be making a Meffert Bandage cube, which is a very common form of Bandage cube, but it's also pretty challenging because there are a lot of different pieces that are being bandaged together, but you can pretty much do whatever variation you want as long as it is functional. Now, if you're a beginner modder, I would mostly just recommend gluing together edges and corners, because gluing together centers and edges gets a lot more difficult because you actually have to drill a hole inside of the centerpiece. So if you actually are gluing together any centers and edges together, what you should do is just drill a little hole inside of the centerpiece right in the middle just so that you can fit a screwdriver through the hole, and then glue that centerpiece onto the center cap. And again, that's only required for any centerpiece that you're going to be gluing onto an edge, just so that you can access the screw. Now at this point you can go ahead and just start gluing, so pretty much just glue everywhere you marked out. If you have all the markings on the pieces correctly, this should be pretty straightforward. Just don't use a whole lot of extra glue because you're not actually going to be permanently attaching the pieces yet. We're going to actually do that after we've taken the cube apart. Now you can disassemble the cube by unscrewing a center, and now you can go in with all the cracks of the pieces that you've glued together and put more super glue into those cracks so that they'll permanently stay together. At this point you can remove any remaining stickers off the puzzle, and then you can get out your filler material and mix it up. So I use epoxy sculpt, but milliput works just as well, especially for beginners because it's cheap. So basically what you want to do for every group of pieces that you've attached is just kind of get a thin roll of filler and press it in between the cracks of the pieces, so just kind of like you're seeing here. So you want to fill in just past that little crack between the pieces on all of the outer faces of the puzzle, so all the parts of the puzzle that you can see while the cube is assembled, as well as the adjacent inner parts of the puzzle, so the parts that you can see while the cube is being turned. Try not to build it up too high off the surface of the piece and just be really wasteful, but at the same time just don't use too little because it's a lot harder later on to have to go in and add more filler than to just have to sand it down. Now after the filler has dried, you're pretty much just going to go around to all the pieces and just sand them down to get it down into a final shape. So sand it down so that all of the filler is perfectly flat and level with the surface of the piece, so you should be able to run your finger over it and it should feel like the plastic and the filler in between are the same material, no bump whatsoever, but at the same time make sure you're doing that without removing too much plastic and sanding down the pieces too much. Now at this point, if there are any sharp edges on any of the pieces, you can go ahead and round those down, and now you can use a very fine sandpaper and just smooth out all the pieces in general. So smooth out all the faces, smooth out all the edges, smooth out everything to make it so that anything you've modified feels basically like a mass-produced puzzle. Now at this point you can go ahead and reassemble the cube, and then you can spray paint the entire thing gloss black, and then it comes time to apply stickers. So cutting stickers for this is very simple compared to most mods. So for some of the pieces, of course, you're just going to be able to use normal 3x3 stickers, but for the rectangular ones, all you have to do is measure the length and the width of the piece and then cut that out from a sheet of uncut sticker material, and then once those stickers are applied, your puzzle should be pretty much done. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this puzzle. It's a very good beginner's mod to start off with, especially if you don't want to cut down your puzzle. You can definitely make very challenging variations of this as well as very easy variations of it, and you can also do it with pretty much any cube, like a 4x4, 5x5 and up, and even cubes that aren't cubic. One of the great things about Bandage mods is that the process is exactly the same for pretty much any cube, no matter how you want to bandage it. So that is pretty much it for this video. That's all I have to say about my tutorial on making a Bandage cube. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys learned something from it. If you have any problems, be sure and leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to help you. And that is pretty much it for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!